It's hot out here. I may have to use the extinguisher, gentlemen, because it's smoking in here. With Narok Senator Ledama Olekina and former Bomet Governor Isaac Ruto. We're talking the Mao. It's a serious issue. And I know, gentlemen, it has to have a solution because it cannot be used as a political tool every time.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. And let's face it, there are three kinds of people in the Mao. Three groups of people. People with no title deeds. That's the encroachers, you call them.
Squatters.
Squatters. Those with fake titles.
Very good.
And guys with official titles.
Yes.
Three types.
Yes.
Let's face it.
Yes.
So, how do you deal with those fake title holders? Senator.
Very simple. You apply the rule of law, kick them out, and trash the titles in the dustbin where they belong. Let them pursue the people who gave them those fake titles.
Where does one begin? Because
it's very simple.
It's powerful people, some of them.
Who gives a hoot in hell? I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. You've got to live. And I can tell you this. If Kenyans care about the environment, they should be singing the same song. And very soon, people will be surrendering the land that they acquired illegally.
But very few people will be willing to give up land. If you have a title and you say, I have this title.
Man, listen, it's paper. It can be useless. And this is a very serious warning that we're giving. We care about the environment. We can joke all we want. But the message we're sending out there is that enough is enough. You get out of the Mao. We are tired of the drought. We are tired of the floods. What we want is we want to live like everyone else lives.
Governor, you have no problem with conservation, obviously, right?
Well, not having problem. Conservation is what we must do. And there was a clear roadmap which the Jubilee government had started following since 2013. And they should simply follow that roadmap up to the end. Whoever is living right inside the forest or whoever is burning charcoal at the middle of the forest, that one is a criminal. But the people who were given title deeds by the national government, and those people were settled in group ranches of whatever description, no one has any business going to brutalize those people.
But what about those with fake titles?
The fake titles, we would like to see which fake title. But if you have a fake title, then it is fake. But can you tell us of these 5 group ranches, which one has a fake title?
No. Listen.
Would you like to tell us?
Let us not mix things. The 5 group ranches, I clearly said this before. They were not even officially group ranches, all of them.
No,
wait.
Neither here nor there. Let me tell you something else, which is also law about trust land. Trust land is held by the county governments or county council, whatever.
Like Narok County.
In trust for the people for settlement.
Correct.
That part cannot be forest. What is forest is the forest that the national government has clearly gazetted.
What about when people encroach into the forest?
If they encroach, those ones should be moved out.
I like what he just said.
What have happened? Look at the tea. Isn't that like that looks even more like Mao? People were planted. The government planted tea to separate settlements.
Correct.
And the forest. Now, if you cross that T and go and settle on the other side, then you are a criminal.
No,
but
that
if
is
you
not
are
true.
on this side
that
of
is
the
absolutely
T,
not
then
true.
you're fine.
Then that's
that is not true.
What is the T doing?
Jeff, listen. We cannot be going around in circles. It is very clear. If we are talking about a cut line, it is not 2013. Okay? My brother was not dealing with that issue in 2013. He started dealing with that issue during the Prime Minister's task force. That is when he was dealing with it.
Yes.
If he wants us to go back, let us go back and implement what that task force said, which is collecting dust in the National Assembly. That is where we should go. We should look at what the Ntutu Commission, Presidential Commission, said. What he's not telling us is this. His tribesmen just encroach into the forest. The people who can genuinely lay a claim are only 2 people, to tell you. The Maasai and the Ndorobo. They were Gek. And at one point, we had about 9,000 families who were living in the forest. The government in 2001 excised out 61,000 acres to resettle. They were Gek. I mean, if we are talking about the 61,000 acres to the Gek, by all respect, and to be fair, those people deserve to be given something. They were Gek. But if we are talking about these people coming from Kericho, coming from his Bomet, coming from Marakwet, let me tell you, the guys who are even coming from Marakwet, they are told, come, we go give you something. The guy lives there with whatever he's wearing, he comes in. Within a short time, these fake guys with fake titles. Within a short time, the guy is told, okay, you know, fall these trees, build a house, and then make a living here. We flew. Citizen TV has footage of people living inside the forest. Let me tell you, to be honest with you.
Let's not kid ourselves, Governor.
For many years, the Maasais have preserved the forest. Cows eat the grass, okay? In fact, they clean it up to allow more fresh air to come in, you know, and more fodder to grow, you know?
That is the forest.
For many years.
Is the grass?
No. This thing is talking about here, the tea. It's illegal. It's absolutely illegal.
This tea farm is illegal.
So who planted
Let
the
us
tea?
go. Let me tell you what these people have been doing.
Who planted the tea?
The county government, the county government of Narok, planted the tea to stop people from encroaching further in and further in. This thing of 2003, they keep on talking about 2013, keep on talking about cut line. There's nothing like that, Jeff. Let us go back to the district, to the director of survey. Let us identify where the things are, the boundaries are.
Governor, people are worried. Obviously, this is a 2022 gimmick. They're using this as fodder for 2022. So if the people from Bomet
he's using it for that.
If they're kicked out, you lose votes. People from Marakwet, if they're kicked out, their politicians will lose votes. And that's why you don't want them to be
That is not the question.
Removed or evicted.
The question right now is, why are you banning people's dwellings? That is also even against international law. Why are we killing children? Why are we killing the sick? Why are we killing? And yet the same government build them schools.
But not where they are now.
Exactly where they are.
No.
Exactly where they are.
If someone encroached on your land, let's say in Chapalungu.
Let me tell you, the ones who encroach on government forest, all of us are in agreement that those people can be removed.
Yes.
But if they are in group ranch
forest,
land,
so you don't care about the
group ranch
Maasai
land.
Mao.
If they are in group ranch land, that is group ranch. Now, if it was a Maasai who sold or a Kikuyu who sold, that is irrelevant.
And that's what you're saying.
Who is holding it now?
You're saying the Maasai sold that land.
Sold that land,
the group ranch land.
Yes. No one comes all the way from whether Bomet or Elgeyo Marakwet or from Meru to come and settle there unless they have been sold land.
Jeff, let me rebut on that. If it is indeed, hypothetically, if he's saying that the Maasai sold the land in group ranches.
The group ranches, yes.
Right. I want us to go back to the group ranches as they were, not the illegal extension. If I was in Rayu and I had 50 acres, and I sold that 50 acres,
yes,
fair enough, willing buyer, willing seller,
yes,
for the 50 acres.
Yes.
But you've got no business extending the 50 acres into 1,000 acres and selling that land. So whoever did that, by extending the extension of the group ranches, that is illegal, and those people ought to go out. So the simplest thing is here, the simplest solution. This is not an issue of 20. If he did that with all the old politicians who are arguing about the Prime Minister Task Force and the findings, we are not ready to do that. We are a crop of the new generation of leaders who want to preserve our environment. I'm sick and tired of seeing my brother here going to the UK, going to the US, taking pictures, beautiful forest, beautiful place, and he cannot do that in his own home. It is about time that we practice what we preach. This business of saying, oh, that place is good, look at Finland. Finland is almost 80% forest cover. Why can't we get that to here?
I don't think anyone is in doubt about that. And my brother knows that I conserve environment where I live. Where he lives. Conserve environments. We conserve environment.
True, I agree.
Even him. We are very serious with environmental questions.
So why?
So even the Mao needs to be protected. The question we are saying right now is, where these people, where they are banning their houses, they are not in forest, they are in group ranch land.
No.
That is the real question. No. Group ranch land. No. And none of the MPs, none of the leaders are talking about the forests. But it is a diversion. When you bring us the forest and tell us your people are inside here, that's a lie. When you start telling us about Finland, we know about environmental issues. I give it to my brother here because he's also quite good in environmental protection. He has planted a lot of trees in his farm. Yeah. He told you clearly that we are friends and we visit one another. Even after this, he has invited me for dinner. We will go and have, we have no problem. Okay. The only thing I'm cautioning him,
I'm hoping I can convince him.
Now, the only thing I'm cautioning
the bandwagon, he should not, we kick people out of mouth.
Let me ask you this,
he has got to watch his statements. He should not make it a conflict between the Kipsigis and the Maasai.
No.
Like he mentioned last week. Because Francis Olekaparo is also listening.
Let him listen.
In fact, he's even watching.
Let him watch.
And I'm sure he has checked on the clips which
let him watch
about 2 weeks ago.
Let him watch. Let the Maasai take up the spears.
Yes, that is it. I know he was simply trying to.
You know, I want to use a word that I can't use on TV, but I'm going to use that is BS. Listen, all I said, I was misquoted. Actually, this is exactly what happened. I was standing on the floor of the House. Mary's senator, nominated senator from Kajiado, brought up an issue of local content, saying all these companies which are encroaching into our land, they're coming into a place and set up companies. Our own people are not being employed, Jeff. And I stood up and I said, Mr. Speaker, sir, if we do not consider local content, you will see that the Maasais will now end up picking spears and doing what they know how to do, what they did in the past, becoming warriors and roaming around. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay? So if you come into our place, encroach into our place.
Doing what with the spears?
What did we used to do with them? Huh? What did we used to do with them?
What is it that you intend to do?
Don't divert the attention here. The issue here is very clear. The issue we are here about the issue of the Mau forest.
Of the Mau forest.
And the Maasai
Mau in particular. Okay?
And I think we are in agreement with him. Conserving the environment is top priority.
Senator, the president says the other day, the evictions must go on. Right?
Yes.
Senator Murkomen from Elgeyo Marakwet goes in against the president's wishes. They're in the same party.
Let me tell you, this earlier this afternoon, I had a chat with Murkomen, who is a majority leader that I have respect for. And I said to him, my brother, what is wrong? He said, no. I'm only concerned about the human rights.
Yes.
I said, Don, if you're concerned about the human right, I'm also concerned about the human right. But what you did was disrespectful. It wasn't right. And I'm telling you, one thing I've got to give to the president is that the president has been consistent in the issue of Mau Forest. Ask my brother here, go back and review tapes when the president was the minister for finance. He was like, no, people should come out, they will not be compensated. He has been very consistent. And I'm telling you, if we remain consistent, we practice what we preach. He cannot be practicing environmental conservation in Bomet and then encouraging environmental degradation in Maasai Mau. He can't do that.
Let's make it very clear. Yes, what we have simply been saying is that we must, as we conserve the environment, we must protect human rights. It is an obligation on the state. It is an obligation on the leaders. It's an obligation on everybody. That human rights must
Governor, let me give another scenario, a hypothetical scenario. You're sitting on 10 acres where you are right now, okay?
Right.
You find some people just come in one day and they settle on
your land,
2 of your acres. They're sitting there at the bottom of your plot. There's people on 2 acres, and they're sitting there and they start building a house today. Then they start digging up shamba and planting maize. They bring a cow or 2, and they're there. You can see them, and they're illegally on your land. What should you do?
Of course, the law is there.
You kick them out, right?
The law is there. You don't pick up your rungu and hit and break their skulls. Would you do that, Jeff? Would you preach that?
I wouldn't, but
let me tell you,
they are there illegally.
Let me respond to that.
They are there illegal. You're not answering my question. They are there illegally, and every time you drive out your gate, you're seeing them there.
I'm telling you, the issue of the evictees right now is that they are on group ranch land.
No, they're also in the forest.
The ones in the forest, atuna shida na hawa, those ones should be moved by government. If they are a gig, the ones who are forest dwellers, those ones should be relocated and they should be given alternative land.
That happened in 2001, man. That is history.
No, it happened on the upper side towards
that is history.
Yes. It didn't happen on southwestern Mao. That doesn't happen.
No, listen.
Maasai Mao.
That is history, bro.
That does not happen.
2001, it was very clear. I want him to go back and he's been out there in the cold a little bit, but I want you back in politics. I want you to go back and read.
Just a moment, my brother,
2001, the 65,000 acres. I've arrived, but I'm a political scientist, and I study, my brother.
This man is 1 year old.
So you're saying he's green?
Better.
He's extraordinarily green.
Better.
I'm bringing him up. I spent a better part of the last 2 years bringing him up.
We miss you in politics, man.
He needs to be back.
We need
I think the president should give him an appointment somewhere.
I think
so. But let me tell you, the truth is, you see, what my brother is trying to do now, he's trying to tell me to look at this watch, which I can clearly see that it's black. But to look at it, and he wants, by the time we end this conversation, I can say the watch is white because that's what he wants me to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to the facts. The fact is, we're in a crisis. In fact, if people are watching us all the way in Egypt, what you don't know, and I'm sure you do, they all depend on that water. The source of the Nile, the rivers which are in the water catchment area of the Mao forest, feed the source of the Nile, which is the Lake Victoria. When you destroy this environment, you're not only affecting Kenya, you're affecting millions of people who depend on this.
And by the way, Egypt protects that entire line from start to finish.
In fact, it's about time, Jeff, we tell them to come and help us protect Mao.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, maybe.
Bomet is one of the greatest beneficiaries of the Mao. We've got 5 rivers flowing from the forest.
And those are slowly being choked.
We've got 5 forests. And we have not encroached on the forest. The people who encroached on the forest are those who degazetted it and those who made it group range land.
Do you know?
And then after making it a group range land, they sold it.
Right.
And when they sold it, now they wanted the money and they still want the land. And now they are telling us it was illegal.
So it's sort of like the Ruaraka land where, it's bought like 3-4 times
don't bring that up.
over and over.
Let me tell you,
so let's have one thing that we've agreed on. We are all agreed on the question of conservation of Mao.
Yes.
That
has
is
to happen.
in agreement. That has to happen.
That is without question.
Good. Without question. Now, what we are simply saying is there must be a boundary for Mao forest. That boundary can only be set by national government.
Aye.
Now they have done it. And if they have done a boundary as to where Mao starts, that boundary should be respected. And if the government should respect their own boundary, and we will
Which boundary? Which boundary are we looking at?
The cut line.
Wait.
Who wait.
Which cut line?
Yes,
which cut line are we talking about?
Which cut line?
Jeff, let him answer.
Does he have his own cut line? The cut line we know is the one where they planted tea.
Which
one is it? That is
the T zones.
The T zones. The Nile T zone is
Jeff,
ends.
That is nonsense.
Settlement areas.
We started in 1990. It was very clear. The first proper line was done by the Tutu Commission. The first proper line. In fact, that one didn't touch, like I said, it didn't touch the Mao area, the Narok South area. It focused on the Narok North area. It is very, very clear. And these facts are very stubborn.
Yes.
What my brother is now doing is that he's trying to encourage an illegality. These T-zones, they're all illegal. We should go back to the... Let me tell you, there's no cut line here.
Was it done by the
There's no cut line here.
Was it done?
Nothing.
Was it done by ordinary Kenyans?
Let me tell you, that one, what you're trying to do, you never agreed with the Prime Minister Task Force report. Now? I remember watching you. Huh? Even if I was not in parliament with you, I remember watching you.
Yes.
When you are like, going crazy with the former Prime Minister. And Kutunyi also, making comments. You see, the beauty of us is that we have a memory and we remember.
And it's in the hands.
And it's all over. And it's in the hands.
And who doesn't?
Okay? You are now trying to dupe Kenyans to believe that whatever happened recently with all this tea, which might have been something which was complicit in nature, something which a few people agreed to, is what we should go for.
Gentlemen, that conversation will never end, and I'm glad we're having it. Actually, it's a good start.
Yes.
Let's check some tweets. Let's get some reaction on this real-time show. Monica, are we good? Okay, so let's start with the tweets. Kineni Waembu says, the question is, the government gave title deeds and created the cut line. So now schools, homes turn to be in the forest after elections. Yes. This is drama. Stop. And Mwananchi given priority.
Yes.
Right?
I'm in agreement.
He doesn't understand what a cut line is. Let's go on.
Okay. Wamalwa Agapetus Matthew, let us not bring relevance of politics in this issue of the Mau Forest. Now, between the government and the individual or group of individuals plans, which one should be prioritized? Between the government and the individual or groups of individuals plans, which one should be prioritized?
I think is what makes sense. If a government is complicit, then it shouldn't be. If individuals are complicit, then they shouldn't be. Sir
Vickery Omwando, you say, the Mau issue is just but the tip of the iceberg and how embedded impunity runs Kenya. Those protesting the evictions are the real enemies of progress.
I agree with him 100%.
Impunity is on those who are burning people's houses. They are trampling on the rights of humanity. They are committing crimes against humanity. In fact, in the face, blatantly, in spite even of the Rome Statute, where Kenya is.
So the Rome Statute now apply, but when we are resisting impunity,
don't forget,
it didn't apply.
Governor, don't forget,
double standard.
Those people are still on your land I talked about earlier on, and you pass them every day when you go out your gate, and you still haven't done anything about it. Or what are you going to do?
Burn their houses? Break their skulls? Which one?
No, you agree.
Which one would you
like? Hillary Cherwiot says, Mau Forest is a political popularity searching ground. Most politicians takes it as a play, yet it's a serious issue.
Yes. It is a serious issue.
It is a serious issue.
Kemboy Isaac, as much as we are conserving the environment, let's do it in a humane way. We need to obey orders, but also sense of humane supersedes the orders of our bosses.
Yes.
All right, quick SMS. Okay. All right, gentlemen. I mean, look, it's an emotive issue. It's a very political hot potato.
We took food to starving children, medicine. The county commissioner refused.
Natembe is doing a very good job. Congratulations.
Refused that food should be given to the people who are starving.
He's doing a very good job.
Part of a normal government activity.
Okay, Governor, bottom line, what should be done now?
Right now? Yeah. What should be done right now is, first of all, stop burning houses, stop brutalizing children. They have a right to education. The government built the schools. The government did the cut line. The government gave the title deeds. The government allocated land to the group ranges. Please respect that.
Senator.
I'm sick and tired of this. The government did this, the government did this. The government didn't. The government is not abating corruption or an illegality. What is there is that maybe some individuals are complicit. They allow certain things to happen. What should happen is very clear. I'm telling you, Jeff, this issue of people encroaching, think about it, and he hasn't answered your question. If you trespass into my territory, in the United States, if you trespass, I take my gun and I shoot you. Yeah. Period as that. Yeah. So here,
and it's a law, by the way.
It's a law. Let me tell you, no trespass.
Texas.
Let me tell
you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad you agree. So it is very simple. These people came from somewhere. Go back to where you came from. These people did not just fall from the sky and come down. No. These people came from somewhere, so go back there. Governor, I can tell you this.
Governor, your mic just slipped into your shirt, but you can carry on talking.
Jeff, let me tell you, I can tell you this. In fact, what really annoys me is the fact that some of these people don't even live in the Mau. So what they do, they come, they destroy it, they grow their crops there, and they have another home somewhere. You walk down, you see them walking. When we flew there, the other day when Citizen TV was talking about the issue of the Mau, which was about 2 months ago, it was shocking what we could see. And that is why I'm taking the challenge. We are all going to chip in on this, Jeff. Yeah. We're going to take JKL in the middle of the forest.
I'd love that.
You're going to cry. You're going to cry. You will cry. Because everything he's saying here is baloney. Everything he's saying here does not hold any facts. You'll be able to differentiate between facts and fiction. Okay?
Governor.
Now there'll be no 3 choppers. There'll only be 1.
1.
You, me, and him, and your cameraman.
Perfect.
That's it.
Let's go and have a look.
Let's do it.
Let's go and have a look. Let Kenyans see the truth.
I'm on.
Let's do it even on Friday.
Let Kenyans see the truth. And let there be no lies about it.
Perfect.
Fine.
Yes.
I'm in agreement.
Let's leave it for
That's even the best way to end.
And I want to do that, by the way.
Absolutely.
Let's arrange that.
Let's do it on Friday.
Yes.
Let's do it on the weekend.
A weekend? No,
Monday, Tuesday. Why don't you do it just before the next
JK
Live?
Yes.
Done.
So we do it Tuesday?
Yes.
Done.
Good.